Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. So it was a full moon and I kind of wanted to explain to people a different path in which to take. The path is the Thorn path. It's a thorn-blooded rose path that links you directly to the earth and to the plants, because in this path every plant has a spirit and a seal in which we can connect to. This path is an old path. It's not, and to be fair, there's not a lot that links it to the traditional Wiccan ways, the traditional Wicca. It's actually completely different, and you can ask people in my life and they would say that for a long time I disliked the rose, especially the red rose. I disliked it for a long time because of where I was rooted, I guess. And just recently, I don't think it's just me that's been through this. I do believe that more than me has been through it. It's been sort of like a spiritual awakening for many people, and for myself included. However, I do think that we write our own path, we make our own way. I do feel that many more are opening up now to different paths and new ideas. And I think as you grow spiritually and as a person, you start to realise that you can incorporate many things and create your own way, rather than taking this way or that way and that being the absolute. Because I do believe we write our own path, it's our own way. We don't have to take another way and follow that directly. It's kind of like rebuilding yourself spiritually and creating your own. It's exactly that, because we are very empowered. We have the power within. So the thorn-blooded rose path is completely different to modern age Wicca and witchcraft. It's witchery, and it's old age witchery. Usually there's a bloodline to it. There does not have to be. To enter this path, it can really be done at any time, but know that once you've entered this path, it can be quite exhausting, the changes that you go through, the things that you open yourself up to. And do understand that you're working with spirit, regardless of where that spirit is from. The plants, they are not there to serve us. They are like a friend, they are a familiar, but they're not always very friendly. I guess what I'm trying to say is you have to be careful, because you hurt the plant in which the spirit belongs. You hurt the spirit, not going to be very favourable towards you then. And it's like that. It's one of those paths where you do need to be careful and be probably more experienced. That's why it's under the advanced category. Not because I don't think people know about it or anything, but just because I think it's important to understand most of this path in which we work with, a lot of it, they're poisonous plants. You have to be very careful, and you have to have knowledge in plants, definitely. You can't just suddenly decide, I'm just going to do it without no knowledge, because that you could hurt yourself, so please don't do that. But to start it is the simple red rose, obviously, but you need to grow it yourself. So you need to start from the roots, and you need to dedicate under the full moon. Plant your plant, and it is 3 drops of red for 3 drops of green. this is chlorophyll. It is not the poison in which you knock people out. That's chloroform. This is chlorophyll, and all it means is, for example, cucumber water, aloe vera water, any green vegetable or fruit in water. It is plant DNA. That's what it is. And we do have plant DNA in us. So that's why I believe they are living, the earth's living. I 100% believe that, and believe that when a tree is cut down it hurts and it's not great, and I have a really strong bond with that. But what you need to do is take your plant, obviously, and you will need a bowl of water. Within that water, you will need to put 3 drops of your blood, just 3 drops of your blood. And you will also need the green blood, which is obviously what I've just explained. And you will need to drink the green blood, and explain that this is your exchange. This is your exchange for bonding with the rose as a plant. The water with your 3 drops of blood, you have to pour on the roots. The reason being is because that's where it's going to be soaked up, that's where it's going to create that bond. Now, then you need to obviously cover up with soil, but the last lot of soil that covers up the plant must be done by hand. You have to use your hands to secure the bond. Now, it doesn't seem like a lot, but it does go more into depth as time goes on. But this is just the initiation. This is just the start of that particular journey. When you have planted your plant and this is done, you can then arise and you need to state your declaration. This is the declaration in which you will state: I am the thorn-blooded witch of the old ways, descended from the stars, fated by the sun, envisioned by the moon, my form given to me by the land. Then obviously you can add your own little bits in if you want. You know, if there's something that you feel you need to add in, this is the place you would do it. You don't have to. Then you would finish by saying, I have my feet rooted firmly in the shadow. I reach for the stars. And that's because there are five steps to learn. The first step's celestial, which we'll go into later. But remember, you arise and state, I am the thorn-blooded witch, descended from the stars, fated by the sun, envisioned by the moon, given form by the land. Add your own bit if you choose. My feet are firmly rooted in shadow. I reach to the stars. So it is. That's how usually we would end it. So it is, rather than so mote it be. So mote it be is actually, believe it or not, more modern than old ways. And in the old ways, it really wasn't about, so it is, so mote it be, by the power of 3. None of that really was included in the old ways. It didn't really end like that. You know, it was more by seed, by thorn, and by plant, which we'll go into later. But that's how you start the path. You have to start it this way. This is just the way it started. This is just for anybody who wants to But it's interesting to learn. And remember, the rose is seen as like the queen. She is like of the white round. She's seen as above all, and the bringer of life, the bringer of love, of fire, of earth, air, and water. So she's very prominent. The next one after that is the mandrake root, but you must take that first step before anything else. So I hope this helps anybody who's interested. Love and light, and blessed be.